Hi everyone, this is Vijay here, working as assistant professor at Bapuji B Schools, Davangere. I welcome all of you for this course, HR Analytics, which is recently introduced by Vishwesvaraya Technology University for the students of HR specialization. Basically, this course contains the 6 modules which goes like this. The unit 1 basically we will be talking about the introductory part of this course. So, HR analytics in perspective we will be discussing. Unit 2 is basically gives an insights on what are the different frameworks used to measure or the different frameworks which are used in HR analytics. And the third unit, some of the basic concepts of HR analytics will be discussed. And in the fourth unit, the main focus will be on what is the importance of data in making the analytics sensible. So basically, we will be talking about the input part of the analytics, that is the data part. And of course, the very important aspect of this entire HR analytics subject, that is the metrics, and how the dashboards can be created and other things will be discussed. So at the end, we will be focusing more on the HR scorecard, where we will be preparing few of the HR scorecard which is required for performing HR analytics. So this is what the entire syllabus is framed. So I will be talking about in this video. I'll be taking the one portion of the unit 1. So basically I have segregated the unit 1 into 3 aspects. The one is the basic introduction. We will be talking more on analytics as an by and large, and then what really involves with this, that we will discuss. And then we will boil down to the next concept, that is HR analytics in perspective. And of course, how different organizational systems have taken HR analytics, that we will be discussing at the later part. So basically this video we will be more focusing on the basic introduction about HR analytics. Okay, fine. Now, way back, if I want to take you guys to a little early part of HR management, normally HR was considered to be an expensive department. That means we are under the head of expense. When I say we, it refers to the HR managers, HR fraternity. So earlier we were the part of expenses. That means people used to say HR means they bring people, so we have to give salary. So HR means they recruit, they take people for the training. That all comes under HR. That all comes under the expense part of it. Nobody have realized the benefit part of it. Okay, that I'll come to little later. And the another notion which we are all having is they're all treated as a good people around, and they are less harmful, because we were not talking something on the data, we are not talking something on the profit and loss. So somebody who is more abstract, more subjective, they're treated as good people because you don't quantify anything. So this was the perception which we had earlier. There are some problems associated with this perception. Okay, and the very important reason behind this is HR fraternity, or the people who are working under the HR, they themselves believed that they are the part of expense. This is the very tragic part of the HR, and they don't know, never talked about the value that they were generating. So their main conversation, or when they somebody approached them for anything, most of them they were giving on an abstract statement about their performance. The most of them, they didn't talked about what value that they are adding. There was no language to express the value that they were generating. So basically, they were not data driven. So the value which they have created, they didn't communicate it in the angle of the value that they have added. So that was the case. All of their terms were subjective, qualitative, and equivocal. For these reasons, the perception was developed around HR. Now, the solution for this is, now we are in the phase, or people have already done in the industry. That's the reason even the universities have started introducing the subjects like HR analytics, because we need to change the perspective in which we are thinking. So now the need of an R for an HR is they should learn the language. That means they have to speak in the angle of quantitative. That means anything you speak, that has to be backed with some data. And you should be more objective in terms. Objective in the sense, this is what I have kept, this is what I have achieved, rather than saying, okay, how the training is going. You should not just say training has went well. Rather, we will be more focusing on what was the expenses made on training, what is we are going to get out of this training. So how my business objectives are going to be achieved because of this training. What strategic thinking that I have to think in this angle. So this is what we are going to do, so that our perception about HR has to change, and using the numbers to express our activity. This is very, very important. That's the reason why marketing and finance are becoming more objective in nature, because they talk on the numbers perspective. So this is what the solution, and that's the reason we have this course. Now, if I look out the path that we have all traveled in 1970, HR has begun to experiment with simple cost, time, quantity metrics to show that HR was at least managing expenses and generating something of value. So that was the way back where we were talking on these terms. 1980s, we were able to show that we are indeed adding measurable values. So the slowly that trend has started. So slowly the trend of treating HR is just an expenses. So they started thinking, okay, there is a lot of value addition which is happening because of this. In 1985, this is a very landmark event which has happened. Saratoga University, that is the institute, there they have published the first national benchmarks, and they led to the publication of human value management. Instead of human treated as a resource, they started quoting this, that is human value management. In 2000, we had advanced the methodology to a point where we were talking about the return on investment. So that is the biggest jump in terms of our thinking has happened. We are not just talking about the expense, cost, or the value, but we also come down to the level of talking on in terms of return on investment. In 2000 onwards, so there was a lot of statistical tools, the open platforms, the open source tools started available for the HR fraternities to perform some of the things like human capital analytics. So this was the path that we have traveled. Okay. So then comes what is analytics is about. Is that statistics? This is a major myth we all have. So you don't need to be damn good at statistics to be good at analytics. So statistics is a part of analytics. Okay. So Majorly, analytics is about mental framework, a logical progression first, and a set of statistical tool is the second. Primarily, it is about what is that is there in your mind, the problem statement, identifying the problem statement, identifying what could be the logical variables associated with this statement, and what I am supposed to do with this problem. That logical thinking is the primary goal of analytics. Then comes to solve that, after extracting the data, then comes the statistics. So that's the reason the logical progression comes first, then associated with statistics. So then the another thing is analytics is an art or a science. It is both art and science. The art part of it is how do we look at the world in our view. So the same data can two statisticians can give different view. So it's all about how do you put it across. That is the art part of it. The science part of it is how to do something. That means with this data, what I'm going to do with it. So that is the science part. So analytics is basically a congregation of both art and science. So as I told you before, analytics is a part of art and science, and it also involves the logical progression as well as the statistical procedure. With this, we are going to do some evaluation, and with that, you are going to, or HR is going to do some kind of an evaluation. Okay, and with that, they can have a strategic operational decision for the future world. So basically, analytics were defined in different ways. The dictionaries define analytics as a science of analysis. Okay, anything which is the science is involved with the analysis, we call it as analytics. It is the process of dismantling or separating into constituents to study. So, in a holistic view will be there, but dismantling that holistic view into a segments and start visualizing the each segment is what the analytics can do. Is answering complex physical and behavioral science questions. Statistical methods are often utilized. So the analytics involve all this stuff. Analytics is defined as an interpretation of data patterns that that aid the decision making and performance improvement. I think that is the primarily where every analytics will do. That is the identification of the pattern is the key. Okay, and that pattern, based on that pattern, there is some amount of decision making inputs will be extracted, and accordingly the decisions can be made. So thank you, and we have done with the first portion of our first unit, and I'll be coming back again for our second unit. Thank you.